Hello, guys. Welcome back to Olympiad Budapest 2024. This is round two, and this is a game between Fabiano Caruana on board one for the USA against Jingyao on board one for Singapore. If you recall, yesterday Wesley So played on board one for the USA. Wesley would go on to make a draw in his game, and I guess Fabiano is on the reserve for the USA, and Fabiano played on board one in today's match. In this game, Fabi opens with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, and we have the Italian on the board. They play normal moves. All of these are known theory up until move 15, 16, 17. Up to this point, they were following theory. And until this point here, we have Jingyao grabbed the pawn on d3. Now, up to this point, they followed known theory. And there are two games in the database where this position was reached. A game between Peter Leko and Nodebek Abdusaturov in 2019 GM Blitz. It was a Blitz game. And exactly this position was reached. In that game, Peter Leko grabbed the pawn here with the bishop, which was the best move. But Peter Leko would go on to lose that game to Nodebek in 2019. I think it was Peter Leko the black pieces or Nodebek was the black pieces. I don't remember. But I think Peter Leko would go on to lose that game to Nodebek in 2019. And in this position, I can imagine that Fabi remembers the game. Fabi decided to take with the knight. Fabi grabbed with the knight here. And so it is now, as of move 17, that we have a completely new game. Jingyao dropped his queen back, and of course, the threat is bishop takes and he grabbed the rook, and Fabi developed the queen, offering a queen trade. Jingyao decided to use the tempo to develop his rook. Fabi moved his knight out of the way. Jingyao played c6 here. Now, in this position, you notice that, okay, black is attacking all of this, right? You can literally take, and I don't know, you have to move this bishop somewhere because this bishop is in line with this rook. So you can't really capture here. But Jingyao decided to capture. And capturing here does a number of things. It allows the queen grab that pawn, and there will be a lot of complications in the position after this move. In fact, after this move, Jingyao is effectively lost here. After allowing queen takes b7 here, the position is effectively lost because I think, first of all, the pawn chain is destroyed. This pawn is just 3 squares from queening, and it is supported. The knight guards it. The queen guards it. It can put a rook behind this pawn. So that's one way to look at it. At the same time, you can't push the pawn, of course, because you'll blunder this and lose a rook. So Fabi would not do that. Jingyao dropped the queen in, attacking the bishop and the knight. Fabi plays knight d4 here, hitting the rook, guarded by the bishop, a great move. If you take the knight, well, then you're just going to capture, right? You're going to be down material. The queen is also hanging, so what to do? Jingyao grabbed another pawn, Fabi grabbed the rook, and Jingyao went check. Now, apparently, this was actually not a very good move, but he went check, supported by the bishop. Now the bishop is guarded. Fabi has to move the king, and he grabbed the knight. But then the queen grabs, and now, okay, queen takes, bishop is in play, but Jingyao decides to bring his rook first, which was also the best move. Fabi decided to start checking here. Now, if you look at this position, what you realize is, wait a second, this guy is one move from checkmating Fabiano Caruana, right? He's literally one move. If you give Jingyao one more move, it will be checkmate. But Fabi can avoid checkmate because he has a knight and a queen here, and he has to find checkmate himself. And Fabi begins, of course, to look for the checkmate. Knight check, queen here. Now you would notice that the queen protects the g2 pawn and the rook still attacks the bishop. Jingyao decides to grab the bishop. Of course, what else will you play in this position? There's nothing to play for anymore. And Fabi took a pawn. Now he threatens checkmate with the queen on g7 here. And what can you do to defend against checkmate? Jingyao puts his knight on knight h5, temporarily defends the pawn. If you give him one more move, at least maybe he'll be able to play queen f6 and basically stave himself. Let's say Fabi plays one careless move, and Jingyao may be able to bring his queen back, or no. He can play queen e8 check. Wait, nowhere. Knight g3. Oh, Jingyao can even go here. So this is also GG. And that will be lead to checkmate basically for Fabi. Against Fabi. So one wasted move, and Fabi could lose the game. But Fabi did not fall for that. Of course, Fabi went check with the queen. And now it is one move to resignation. Can you find the best move in this position? What move did Fabi play here to force his opponent to resign the game? In this position, Fabiano Caruana found the incredible move knight g5 check. Knight g5 check, brilliant move. And it was in this position that Jingyao resigned the game. In this position, oops, I turned it off. In that position, Jingyao resigned the game. I missed that. Good. Knight g5, brilliant move in that position. Jingyao resigned the game because there's nothing you can do here. If you grab the knight, there is queen takes knight check. Look at this. You go back with the rook, then with the king, there's rook check. If you block with the queen, there is rook takes check. And there's no way you're playing this against Fabiano Caruana. He doesn't even need to capture anything. He just brings the rook to the open file and he's going to get a checkmate for sure. So given that all of this is surely going to happen on the board, Jingyao resigned the game in this position, and Fabiano Caruana gets the first win for the US team in the round 2 of the FIDE Olympiad. So big one for the USA. I don't know who is going to win the Olympiads this year. Who do you think is going to win the Olympiads? Is it the US? Is it India? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And if you find any interesting games in the Olympiad, if you find any interesting games, please let me know so that I can take a look at them as well. And maybe I'll be able to cover some of those games as well. All right, until next time, I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.